So today I'm talking about a Dodge with the P0428 code, what it is and how you go about fixing it. So what is a Dodge P0428 code? Well, it's a catalyst, temperature, sensor, circuit high, bank 1, sensor 1. And what does this mean? Well, if the catalytic converter becomes clogged up or starts to fail, it could put out more heat. And there's a sensor that's picking this up. So it could be a bad catalytic converter, but it can also be a bad sensor. And there's some other things you could try before you change out the catalytic converter. And checking out the O2 sensors is going to be the first thing to do. On older cars, these sensors only detected the oxygen, but on newer cars, they can also have built-in heat sensors that will detect a rise in heat or a difference in heat between the first one and the second one. And this helps to monitor the catalytic converter and send more information back to the onboard computer. So if one of these fails, it could be given the wrong data back to the onboard computer, which thinks the catalytic converter failed, but it didn't. It's just a bad sensor in some scenarios. And so it's the first thing to check is to just go check out these O2 sensors. Be sure to check the wiring, because bad wiring can cause the same symptoms as a bad sensor. So be sure that the wiring harness is plugged in good, there's no opens or shorts. And then either test or replace these sensors would be the first thing to do, just to rule them out as a possible cause. And so if you do that, then the next thing is going to be the catalytic converter. Now, if you took it to a mechanic shop, very likely they would just change out the catalytic converter and be done with it. But if you want to try to get a few more miles out of it, which is very common, is you can run some products through it, like CataClean or something similar. There's different types of brands. I'll put links down below for everything I'm looking at here. But basically, you put this in, it's a gas additive. And then you take the vehicle out on a highway or freeway, and you really rev it up for like 15, 20 miles. And that hopefully that blows out all the gunk inside the catalytic converter. Especially if the vehicle is only city-driven, because city-driven vehicles, they never really get revved up, and they can accumulate gunk inside of the catalytic converter. And if they take them out on the freeway or something along these lines, then quite often it could blow out all that excess. And once you do that, you clear the code, and then hopefully it doesn't come back, or it doesn't come back anytime soon. But if you try this, and plus you swapped out these O2 sensors, then very likely you're going to have to swap out the catalytic converter. And replacing a catalytic converter is a straightforward job, but they can be kind of difficult because the bolts can be rusted in there and things like this. They have a lot of heat going through them and they're exposed to the elements, so they can be kind of difficult sometimes to remove. But they are straightforward. If you want to replace one, you basically take out the old bolts and you bolt in the new one. So it is straightforward. They may also have the O2 sensors directly on them in some cases. So you might have an O2 sensor like right here. There's an O2 sensor that goes in right into the catalytic converter. And so that's basically it. I just wanted to give a real quick brief overview of what you could do if you had a Dodge with the P0428 code and how you go about fixing it. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.